Hi again, I'm Dani Menkin, the writer, director of the film Aulcie, and I want to say that in many ways, that film is the movie that I wanted to tell for so many years, you know. I mean, I was chasing after you, right? Aulcie, for so many years. How long was...
Many years, at least 10, 15 years or at least. And finally, after on the map, I realized that you were the guy that I want to do my story.
You know, it's interesting because I'm thinking about when we met. It was at the end of the 90s, after you came back to Israel and you had the store in Burger Ranch in Dizengoff.
Yes.
And I was assigned by Yoram Arbel in Israel and in the sport channel to make a piece about you because you were working with the handicap.
Yes.
In
Spivak.
In Spivak, yes. And over there, I started to talk about your story, but we knew that there is a lot more to tell. It was just 3 minutes and we didn't go deep inside. And then you came to the premiere of the film, Looks Like ROST, which is also available here. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. And then later we met again when I did On the Map that, please watch it. It's also there. And I think maybe little by little, after you also watched 39 Pounds of Love and you met the story of Ami and Asaf, that you said to Ahuva and to me, Ahuva is your significant other, that if somebody ever will tell the story, it will be me. But again, it was very, very hard to convince you to do it. And why was it?
I didn't want a journalist to write my story. They're talking about me and don't really know anything about me. So I was looking for someone to do a book, to write about it. And after I seen your films and talking to you for some years, I decided that you were the guy that I wanted to do my story.
And it was, for me, it was amazing because what I loved about your story, besides the fact that such a roller coaster, is that you were really a fish out of water in America, facing all the racism in your childhood, and then you come to Israel, escaping from that racism, and even that was because you were the last guy to be cut from the Knicks. Yes. I mean, people don't realize you should have played in the Knicks with Earl Monroe, Phil Jackson.
Exactly.
And then you find yourself in Israel.
Walt Frazier.
And then you're fish out of water in Israel.
I decided, I had 2 years I was trying to get to the professional. I played in the ABA. The first game I ever played professionally in my life, I made the last 2 baskets to win the game. And I was player of the game. And then we lost 26 games in a row. And the next week they had a new team there. They sent everybody home except for 1 or 2 guys that had no cut contract. So I couldn't go another year without a paycheck because I had a son on the way. And and I was looking to come to Europe, and it was already September, and I still didn't have a job. And Shamluk, I was playing for the championship of the Summer League in New York, and Shamluk came and said, my name is Shamluk, and I'm from Israel, and I'm looking for a player. And I said, where do I sign? I didn't, that's it. So everything worked out well. They said, well, then he told me, well, we only need you for six games. We're playing in the European Cup 25 years, and we never made it out of the first round. My first year, we made it out of the first round. We beat the Russians, and a month and a half later, we won the European Championship. My life changed.
And you did not realize that you will find your destiny and will literally fall in love in Israel. I say literally because of Tammy.
Okay. Because of Tammy, and because I didn't have to go through the racism that I went through as a child growing up in America. My parents was from the South. And the South was the worst place for African Americans to be in those years.
And can you describe me, when do you, Aulcie Perry, that was born. Yeah, I need to explain that, because if I was putting it on a screenplay, people would not believe me, right? But you were born in Beit Israel.
That is
Your
right.
mother could not give birth, and then the only hospital she finds is Beit Israel.
My dad was rushing trying to get to the hospital, but the hospital for blacks is the city hospital, was on the other side of town. And my dad was riding, and he saw the sign, hospital, he just rushed in because my mother was starting to deliver me in the car. So he rushed in and he said, please, my wife is having a baby. They came out and they looked, they said, okay, come in. And I went in. And the amazing part to me, because blacks wasn't into circumcision back then, but when the rabbi came by and he made a Brit on all the other kids, he did me as well. And it was something that bothered me for years, because I thought I was born defected, So I used to hide and until my mom sat me down and explained to me what was happening.
You were 8 days old. Mm-hmm. You're 8 days old when your destiny is attached to Israel in some ways that you don't even think of.
Exactly.
Your number is number 8, right?
Yes,
and you find yourself in Israel. But it was the first year that at the end you're making the history, putting the country on the map, winning the Russians, and winning Varese, and you get an offer to play for Golden State Warriors.
Yes, the general manager of Golden State was from Newark, someone I've known since I'm 5, 6 years old. And he was the general manager. And after we won the European Championship, he came to me and said, we want you to come to Golden State. I couldn't miss another paycheck. I had a son, and I needed a job. And I couldn't go through, like I did with the Knicks, go through all the way to the end. And then at the last minute, they said, we need somebody with more experience. So I couldn't take that risk again with a child on the way.
And like you tell us in the film, and I know you so well, there was something that connected you to the country. You felt that connection, and you mentioned that it was after you beat the Russians, right?
Yes.
You understood that that's not just a basketball team.
Yes, it was much more than a basketball game, because the Russians wouldn't let us into Russia to play the game, and they wouldn't come to Tel Aviv to play. So we had to play on neutral grounds, and in a small gym with, I think, seated maybe 300 people, and everybody before we left for the game, all the people were saying, "Look, we know you're going to lose, but don't lose by 50. Lose by 20. Don't be embarrassing us." And but Ralph spoke to us before the game, before he sent us out. He spoke about his family being under the ground from the Holocaust, and all of us, we became so excited when we were just like ready to go, and we went out and we gave him a good spanking.
Yeah, and then you're really, like everybody says, becoming one of us. I don't know if you realize it then, but you're way more than just a basketball player.
Exactly. After the Russian game, a lot more than just a basketball player. I became part of the country, became part of the history of the country, and that was something that just grabbed me.
And what does it do to you? Because you are part of Israel, place you've never believed you'll be part of. And you are also transcending from the sports section in the newspapers because of your amazing many years relationship with Tammy Ben-Ami. You were really the power couple.
Yes,
like
exactly.
The Bredjolina of Israel before.
We were the top of the how do you say it? Top of
all the magazines,
okay.
the headline of the magazine, the cover of the magazine, all the commercials. It's Aulcie and Tammy, Aulcie and Tammy.
Like Tammy and Aulcie and Tammy. Everywhere. on the bus stops, posters and signs all over the country for advertising that we did.
And then you told me one time, I think you said it even like behind the scene, that your mom said that you were not ready for all this, and that is probably what led to your problems. It was probably too much for you to contain.
It was, that had a lot to do with it. But what led to my problem was that all my life, all I can remember is back 5 years old, I'm chasing after a basketball. And when I became 13 and a half, I was 2 meters. For me, that was a stamp that this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a basketball player. And my mom never had to worry about where I was at. All she had to do was look out the window, because across the street from my house was probably the number one playground for basketball players. The professionals came there in the summertime, and all the top college players came there in the summertime. So I grew up in a basketball arena.
And then suddenly, when you realize the career is about to be over, that's when the drugs and the painkillers started to kick in.
I couldn't imagine myself not playing. And my knees gave out. And I did everything. I even bought the ultrasound machine by my bed. I was waking up in the morning and ultrasound my knees and everything, but it didn't work, and I started to take these pain pills. And when I look back now, I knew that it could hurt me, it could harm me, but I couldn't imagine myself without basketball. I couldn't imagine myself going back, especially going back to America and the racism that me and my family experienced. I couldn't imagine it. So I started to take these pain pills. And after 6 months, the doctor said, "Look, I can't give you no more of these pills." By that time, I had become addicted to these painkillers, and got me in a lot of trouble.
A big part of me making this film is because people knew Aulcie Perry, the icon. They knew you as Alicia Ben Avram. Mm-hmm. You are one of us. You are all over the news. You are Aulcie and Tommy. Yeah. And suddenly, for 10 years, you disappear. Yeah. You're in jail, in prison, North Carolina, and you disappear. What's going on there? And what do you feel all that time?
I was locked up, but I was in a nonviolence category. So it was a camp with no walls, no fence, no nothing. But if you walk off and try to leave and they catch you, they double the time. So I was in the camp, but in the camp I was with lawyers and doctors and people high in society, and unfortunately a lot of them was Jewish, and it was they helped me study, they helped me do a lot of things.
Chabad. And also what we don't see in the film is that there was a reporter, Moshe Shaiman, that made a piece about you after many, many years that people were asking, what's going on with Aulcie? Aulcie? Where is Aulcie? And then what happened?
Unbelievable. I was getting about 300-400 letters every day. The prison, the captain of the prison didn't know what was happening. It drove them crazy. Every day they'd come in with mail like this. And they didn't realize, then they realized that I was a basketball player from Israel that was successful.
And there's also with you, it's like wherever you see there is like another story, and then suddenly they asking you to come to that show, This Is Your Life, but you still have time to...
I still had two more months left. I was out on parole, and I had 2 more months left, and everything was over with, So when I got the offer to come for Shamlook, I went to my parole officer, and he looked at me and said, "You crazy?" I said, they invited me to come to a very special occasion in Israel. I said, "I only got 2 months left, so maybe they'll let me." He looked at me and said, "Are you crazy? You're not going. No way we're going to let you go to Israel." So that's the way I took it. And I went back to the hotel, and friends of mine was calling and letting them know what's happening. And I got a call. I'm at work, and I got a call and said, "I want you in my office immediately, after work." So I'm saying, "Damn, I got 2 months to go." I started to get real nervous. What happened now? What's going to stop this? So I went to his office, and I'll never forget it. He looked at me, and he said, "I don't know who you know, but you're going to Israel." And wow, it was a wow for me.
And that's something that, I think it shows the connection between you and Israel, because whatever you'll do, since the day you were born until
comes back to Israel.
these days, you are so connected to this country, which is unbelievable. Everywhere you go, we are showing the film in many places here in Israel to the community. I live in the United States, so when you come and we show the film in so many venues in the United States, when you are able to come, tell us about the reaction.
Unbelievable. It's an unbelievable reaction. Everywhere we go, everywhere we show the film, it's only a plus. It's nothing negative at all. Everything, just a big happy occasion.
Yeah, remember we were in the IAC conference, and you couldn't go get.
I couldn't get to the elevator.
You couldn't get to the elevator.
I'm talking about 1 hour out there, shaking hands, signing, and it was unbelievable. 1 hour outside the elevator to go to my room.
Yeah, is it true to say that in many ways, when it was hard, Israel never gave up on you, and that gave you strength?
Gave me a lot of strength. When I came for a visit for Mickey Berkovich's game, farewell game, and one of the owners of Maccabi, Udi Ricanati, said, "Aulcie, I want you to come for dinner at my house tonight." But before that, he said, "Aulcie, why are you not in Israel?" I said, "I've been gone 10 years. What am I going to do? Just come back and say, here I am?" He said, "No, don't worry. I'll take care of it." I got a call that they had made contact with the Burger Ranch, which was one of the largest burger outlets in the country at the time. And he said, "They're going to be in Chicago. I want you to meet the management in Chicago." I flew to Chicago, and I met the management. They liked me. And the next thing I know, a few months later, I was on my way to Israel.
And you were single at that time, and the lady that is making that deal is...
Uva is my love, my life right now.
Your life, your love, your family, the woman that we can say saved your life.
Really, really. She's such a special woman. And so, I don't know, and the family and the kids and now grandkids. I'm in another world right now. Another
world, and also, really, thanks to you, basketball have changed. Thanks to you, we made so many things that we're proud of. So I want to thank you so much. It was the moment, I think, when you were in the hospital that you told me about the daughter that you haven't seen. And I think in many ways you wanted her to know about you, not from Wikipedia.
Exactly.
But from your voices.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of the things they disappeared. I looked for the mother and my daughter for years, and I couldn't find them. And what happened where I was working in North Carolina, one of the guys knew her, and he told my Israeli friend that where she lived, and I got the number and I called her, and it wasn't such an easy call because my daughter's grandmother had died recently, and she was very close to. So the mother didn't want, and she was in college at the time. She didn't want her to be confused, And she, in the beginning, she didn't accept it, but then her sister heard me talking to the mother that I'm looking for her, And she went to Sierra and said, you know, your dad is looking for you. And from then, the contacts became real.
Yeah. So Aulcie, I think there's so many things and so many circles that you closed within this film, within your life. Your journey continues. I know you had a very complicated operation, and you had to do another very complicated surgery.
Yeah.
And but you are literally, even though you had to,
With one leg now.
you're on your feet.
Yes.
And I can say that on behalf of the country, we really thank you, Aulcie Perry.
And I thank the country.
And I want to say personally, I want to thank you for trusting me and being, willing to have me tell your story, because I think it's a story that inspired me. And I hope it inspired so many other people.
It has inspired people all over the world. Everyone who's seen this film is talking about it and with great reviews.
So תודה רבה, Aulcie Perry,
Thank you.
and a lot of health.
Thank you.
הכי חשוב.
All right. Okay. Thank you.